You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, Canada mourns at least 10 people who died due to a stabbing spree.
Also, we'll meet a World War II veteran who's volunteering at the hospital despite his old age.
And we are taking a look at some foggy conditions to start our Labor Day Monday. We'll tell you what's going to happen after the fog burns off coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Amber Jenkins. A manhunt is underway in Canada. Police desperately searching through the province of Saskatchewan for 2 suspects allegedly behind a deadly stabbing spree. The 2 men are believed to be armed and dangerous. Jackie Ibanez has the latest.
Chaos in Canada after a series of brutal stabbings leave at least 10 people dead and 15 others injured Sunday.
There may be additional injured victims who transported themselves to various hospitals.
This weekend's violence unfolding across at least 13 different crime scenes in the province of Saskatchewan.
We're dedicating a maximum number of resources to this investigation.
Police naming 31-year-old Damien Sanderson and 30-year-old Miles Sanderson as suspects. An exact motive remains under investigation.
We believe some of the victims have been targeted by the suspect and others have been attacked randomly.
The deadly attacks triggering an outpouring of responses from government officials, with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeting out support for communities and first responders rocked by the stabbing rampage. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe writing in part, quote, "There are no words to adequately describe the pain and loss caused by the senseless violence."
If Damien and Miles are listening or receive this information, I would ask that they turn themselves into police immediately.
As of Sunday night, Canadian authorities say Damien and Miles Sanderson remain on the run, calling the suspects armed and dangerous. Both men are believed to be traveling in a black Nissan Rogue SUV. Police are telling communities in Saskatchewan and other neighboring provinces to remain vigilant. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Boone County deputies arrested a 23-year-old for allegedly killing a 52-year-old Hartsburg, Missouri man. At around 8 p.m. on September 2nd, Boone County Communications received a 911 call regarding an unconscious man in the 18,000 block of Old South Route A. Police say that the victim had apparent injuries indicative of an assault and homicide. According to the media release, officers quickly located the 23-year-old suspect and made an arrest at a nearby residence. Deputies requested these charges: first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Late Friday evening, Springfield Police Department were alerted to a suspicious vehicle in a parking lot of a Bass Pro catalog location. The white male, described by the police in his 30s, was rushed to an area hospital. However, police state that the man has since died from his injuries. The officer was not injured. The name of the individual is not yet revealed at this time. To find more updates, you can go to our website at komnewsnow.com. State agents investigate the death of a 64-year-old inmate at the Choctaw County Jail in Hugo, Oklahoma. Charles Gilliard was found dead in his cell Wednesday after he possibly suffered a medical emergency and stopped breathing, according to an OBSI statement. Jail officials attempted life-saving measures but were unable to revive him. Court records show that Gilliard was jailed without bond on a first-degree murder charge. Authorities in the St. Louis area said suspects drove stolen vehicles through 2 Academy Sports stores early Wednesday morning. The first incident was in O'Fallon, where several people got out of the car and went to the gun department. They tried and failed to get into the gun case and then ran away. The second incident happened about an hour later in St. Peters. After crashing in, the suspects ran to the gun case and unsuccessfully tried to shoot through the glass. Police hope that the public can identify the suspects from the surveillance videos.
We are looking at the Skywatch Storm Tracker this morning, Amber. You know what it has to show us? Really,
what's that?
Absolutely nothing right now. We had a wet couple of days over the last few days. We had a good start of rain on Monday. Unfortunately, though, we are drying out for the week ahead. Now, for some, that's good news. For others, that's not so good news. Skywatch Storm Tracker doesn't show much across the area right now, and we're on the backside of that low pressure system that did bring us those rain chances. We are dealing with fog thanks to the rain across a good chunk of the area, so if you are out driving, make sure you give yourself plenty of time just in case you run into some of those patchy, dense areas of fog. You can actually see the fog off in the distance from 7th and Range Line as the sun rises. As it does so, of course, that fog will burn off. Now, right now in the city, it's 66. We've been holding on to that temperature all morning long in Joplin. Temperatures across the area, though, not looking bad. 67 Fredonia, 68 Chanute, 67 Columbus, and 66 in Carthage. As we go through the rest of the day, as I mentioned, the fog will burn off. Be 77 by noon, 85 by 5 is our afternoon high, 76 by 8 with an isolated storm or two in our far eastern portion of our viewing area. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. Partly cloudy skies otherwise. Partly cloudy tonight, 68 at 11, 65 by 2 a.m. with an overnight low of 63. Now on the future track, by noon, we've just got a few patchy clouds out there. Not bad otherwise. As we head into the evening, once we get around 8 o'clock, the backside of that low pressure system brings us that stray storm or two around Greenfield, Pierce City, Monette. No severe weather, but just a couple of rumbles of thunder. Now, when we advance this, you'll see as quickly as they pop up, they die out as well. By 11 o'clock, we are clear of any potential thunderstorm activity. Now, the week ahead is dry. We got partly cloudy skies, temperatures not looking bad. We hold on to partly cloudy to mostly clear skies through the rest of the week. Now, I know for the drought situation, that's not good news, but if you have outdoor plans or anything like that, it's not a bad week for that kind of activity. And again, the crazy thing about the whole drought situation is the fact that we're still above average for our yearly rainfall because of all the rain we saw in May, which is the weirdest thing I've seen around here in quite some time. As we head through the rest of the week, skies remain partly cloudy to mostly clear. Temperatures remain decent at least. They approach 90 degrees, but don't really break it. And head into the weekend, we've got sunny conditions and temperatures overnight hovering around the 60s. So again, we need additional rainfall. The drought situation is improving, but at least for the next several days, we are high and dry.
Nice. Up next, we have Labette County's Relay for Life stepping into our studio, and you won't want to miss it.
And later, do you have a safety plan for an emergency? Well, if you don't, have no fear. We're going to teach you how to make one. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. In Health Watch this morning, it's September, which means it's National Preparedness Month. Now, in 2021, the Red Cross says more than 40% of Americans were living in a county struck by a disaster. That's why the organization is urging everyone to make a safety plan now. Mandy Gaither goes over what you need in order to be prepared.
Deadly flooding, fast-moving wildfires, and heat waves across the U.S. The past year, millions of Americans have been affected by climate-related disasters.
It can happen to anybody at any time, which makes preparedness all that more important.
The Red Cross says being prepared starts with having a plan.
To know if something does happen, where can you turn for help? What should you do if an evacuation order is issued? And how are you going to get the most up-to-date information?
Have a safety kit. Put necessities in there like bottled water, non-perishable foods, a first aid kit, blankets and ponchos, a flashlight, and things to keep children engaged during a disaster. Have 3 ways to receive warnings and emergency information. That can be apps on your phone and a battery-operated weather radio.
Having the ability to get those warnings as quickly as possible and as many different variations of ways to get those warnings is going to be really pivotal.
Families should involve children in the planning so that if there's an emergency, they'll know what to expect.
Talk to them about and let them hear the sound of a fire alarm. Let them know what the sound is going to be like if an emergency alert system goes off on your phone.
Being prepared starts now before an emergency strikes.
Now, the Red Cross says to help your community be ready for an emergency, consider volunteering, donating blood, or learning life-saving skills. And you can learn more at redcross.org. Quick check of the weather forecast as we head through the rest of today. We may see an isolated storm or two around, say, Pierce City, Monette, Greenfield, but these storms will die out as quickly as they pop up, leaving us with otherwise partly cloudy skies, and the majority of us remaining dry. Quick check of the longer future track shows where we do stay dry for the majority of the week with just some partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. So on the 7-day, for the drought situation, it doesn't help. The drought situation is slightly improving, but this dry week doesn't help that as temperatures approach 90 degrees, partly cloudy, mostly clear skies, and sunny skies by the time we head into the weekend. But at least we've got reasonable temperatures and overnight lows in the 60s. We're back right after this.
It's time to honor today's fourth state hero, Elton Cadwell. Gun captain, first class pointer, Cadwell served in the Navy from 1942 to 1945. He served with the Navy Reserves. During his service, he earned the World War II Victory Medal and a Good Conduct Medal, among several others. A native to Nevada, Missouri, we thank you, today's fourth state hero, Elton Cadwell. A World War II hero is still serving, but in a very different way.
94 years young, Carl Hall is a hero to kids at Shriners Children's Hospital in St. Louis. Holden Kerwicki takes us there.
If you've walked through the doors at Shriners Hospital, you've probably come in contact with Carl Hall.
When you see Carl, you just light up.
The 94-year-old World War II veteran has seemingly seen it all in his life.
I got over to Europe at the end of the war, going to the South Pole, Berlin, the airlift. I was in Iran while they still have a king.
Since retiring in 1990, he's dedicated his life to a different kind of service.
Right now, here's what I'm doing, just handing out the toys. You can have that one. Reach up and pick it off.
I want the Paw Patrol toy.
And I got the nice bears here too.
For the past 32 years, Hall has handed out smiles to everyone who walked through the door.
Carl treats us all like we're a part of his family.
Thank you. It's real helpful to your physical, mental, because you're helping kids get better. I've seen kids come in here that couldn't even walk or do anything. And when they leave, they're like a regular kid anymore. It's just amazing.
He loves the patients, and his biggest joy is seeing the patients smile when he gives them a gift and talk to them and have a conversation about how special Shriners is to them.
However, Hall has brought more than just happiness into the hospital. Over the years, working with a number of church groups and community organizations, he has helped raise more than $270,000 in donations.
If people give me money to bring in, I bring it in. Or I've seen some, what I saw as babies coming in now with their babies. And that gives you a good feeling because you know that somebody's here to help. Nice fluffy animals here.
With that in mind, I wanted to know how much longer he planned to continue manning his post.
As long as I can. I have no idea how long that'll be. As long as God helps me, I'll do it.
Certainly an incredible story. I mean, imagine the amount of lives that he's touched, because as he mentioned, now he's got those he saw as babies bringing their babies
children,
in, and he's managed to raise a good amount of money for Shriners Hospital.
He's a true serviceman, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Never stopped serving his country.
Nice. Another half hour of news and weather just ahead. Coming up on KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll meet Dolly Parton's new fashion line. No, it's not for people. In fact, it is for dogs.
And Relay for Life steps back into the studio for another interview. You don't want to miss it. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:26. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Boone County deputies arrested a 23-year-old for allegedly killing a 52-year-old in Hartsburg, Missouri man. At around 8 p.m. on September 2nd, Boone County Communications received a 911 call regarding an unconscious man on the 18,000 block of South Old Route A. Police say the victim had an apparent injuries indicative of an assault and homicide. According to the media release, officers quickly located a 23-year-old suspect and made an arrest at a nearby residence. Deputies requested these charges: first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Late Friday evening, Springfield Police Department was alerted to a suspicious vehicle in a parking lot at the Bass Pro Catalog location. The white male, described by police in his 30s, was rushed to an area hospital. However, the police state the man has died from his injuries. The name of the individual was not released at this time. To find more updates, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. State agents investigate the death of a 64-year-old inmate at Choctaw County Jail in Hugo, Oklahoma. Charles Gillian was found dead in the cell Wednesday after he possibly suffered a medical emergency and stopped breathing, according to an OSBI statement. Jail officials attempted life-saving measures but were unable to revive him. Court records show Gillian was jailed without bond on a first-degree murder charge. Authorities in the St. Louis area say suspects drove stolen vehicles through 2 Academy Sports stores early Wednesday morning. The first incident was in O'Fallon, where several people got out of a car and went to the gun department. They tried and failed to get into the gun case and ran away. The second incident happened about an hour later in St. Peters. After crashing in, the suspects ran to the gun case and unsuccessfully tried to shoot through the glass. Police hope that the public can identify the suspects from the surveillance videos. Missouri lawmakers are delaying a special session aimed at passing a tax cut, saying that they need more time to work on it. The Missouri Constitution allows the governor to convene in the General Assembly by proclamation and state specifically each matter on which action is deemed necessary. Governor Mike Parson wants reduced the state income tax by 0.5% and increased the length of agricultural tax credits. But lawmakers have been unable to decide on a final plan, pushing the special session back to September 14th. A new memo from the Oklahoma Attorney General urges prosecutors to pursue charges against those who perform elective abortions, but say they should give a, quote, substantial leeway to doctors treating pregnant women for emergency conditions. The AG emphasized that the Oklahoma criminal and civil anti-abortion laws do not apply to the pregnant women who have an abortion or unintentional miscarriages and ectopic pregnancies. Only those who perform the abortion or help a woman get an abortion can be prosecuted. An English household literally uncovered a burial treasure, and they're most likely to get a pretty penny for it. During the renovation of their 18th century home in 2019, the residents came across the salt glazed earthenware cup stuck beneath the concrete and floorboards. When they are looked inside, they discovered more than 2,600 gold coins. The auction house, Pink and Son, issued a statement calling this one of the largest hoards of the 7th and 18th century English gold coins ever performed in Britain. They say the coins could be worth nearly $3,000.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's actually $300,000 on there.
Yeah, 300. Yeah,
that is wild. It still makes me wonder what could have been under my parents' house other than dead animal remains.
They're sleeping on a piggy bank, I tell you that.
They certainly have been. So nothing they can complain about. And I mean, $300,000, and you renovated your house, and you got $300,000. Can you imagine that?
Sounds nice.
Renovate your house, get $300,000 if you've got buried treasure underneath your house. If you don't, you're not going to get $300,000. You're going to be paying $300,000 to renovate your house. Something you don't have to pay a pretty penny for is this forecast. It's free of charge to you this morning. We're looking at isolated late-day storm chances on the Missouri side. We'll talk about those in a few minutes. A pretty nice week otherwise lined up for us. We're looking at sunny skies heading into the weekend. Now, the Skywatch Storm Tracker has nothing to show us right now at the local level. We're watching the low-pressure system that's brought us showers and thunderstorms is moving off to the northeast, and we're going to get in on the backside of it for a brief storm or two later today. The main thing we're dealing with is some pretty dense fog across the area. We're talking anywhere from Chanute to Fort Scott, Nevada, Humansville. Pretty foggy, so do make sure you're giving yourself plenty of time as you head out this morning. You can see the fog in the distance from 7th and Range Line, 66 degrees in Joplin under sunny skies. Temperatures across the area looking pretty good too, 66 Yates Center, 68 Chanute, 67 Columbus, and 66 in Neosho. As we go through the day, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, 77 by noon, afternoon high of 85, 76 by 8. with maybe one of those isolated storms, which I promise we are going to talk about. I'm going through the evening, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 63, so not bad. It's later today, so by noon, we're looking at those partly cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower or two, and you can see the activity off to our northeast try and start to push in and give us some isolated storm chances anywhere from Stockton to Pierce City. These are not going to be severe, and they're going to last maybe an hour at most, and then they'll clear on out of here, leaving us with otherwise partly cloudy skies, and that's what we get for the rest of the week too. All the rain staying off to our southeast. Now I know it seems like we've had a fair amount of rain over the last few days, but we need more to help with the drought. Still above average for the year, but we need more rain to help with that drought situation. And unfortunately, 7-day forecast, if you've got outdoor plans, it looks good from that perspective, but from that drought side, not so good. Temperatures right around 90 degrees under partly cloudy to mostly clear skies as we head into the weekend. So we've got at least decent temperatures to deal with and overnight lows in the 60s, but no rain in sight for the next several days. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning Show. Now, in our first half of the hour, we talked about what the event was. Now we're going to dig a little deeper into the history of it all. But first, can you restate what your event is about and when is it?
It's Saturday, September 17th from 11 to 4 at the Oswego Community Center.
What is the event?
It's our Relay for Life for the county, and we're going to have a car show as well. There's a $10 entry fee to enter your car that you want to bring, and we're not just limiting to cars. If you have a motorcycle too, you're welcome to bring those as well. And
so one of the events is going on is a car show?
Yes.
Nice. What are the other events?
We'll have theme laps. We'll do a patriotic theme lap where you can dress up in anything patriotic, and then we have a
Hawaiian lap, pajama lap, and there's one more and I can't think of it right off the top of my head.
Wow, that sounds really fun. You're also mentioning there's going to be food trucks and other little...
There are going to be food trucks, the Skinny Hen and Outsiders Tacos, and then Oswego treats for like snow cones and such.
Nice. Can you tell me about the shirts and the orange shirt that you have right there?
The orange shirt is for the event leadership. It's for like Brianda and I and anyone else that has been helping plan the relay this year. We'll all be in orange shirts, and we'll be able to tell you where to go if you have any questions, and if you're interested in starting a team for next year's relay as well.
Nice. Tell me a little bit about the history.
Relay was founded in 1985. I've been doing relay for about 15 years.
I've been doing it for about 8.
Nice. You guys are very seasoned veterans, I bet.
We are. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the baggie and what it represents?
This is the luminary bag. People purchase these for $5, and it's in honor of or in memory of their cancer survivor or cancer family member or friend. We hope to have a lot of these. After our actual relay that evening in person from 7:30 to 9:30, we're going to do a luminary ceremony where all the bags are lit up when it's dark, and it's just, you know,
wow,
warms your heart.
It sounds very beautiful. Light up the sky, definitely.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the event, the history of it, or anything else?
This year's theme, we always have a theme every year, and this year's theme, it was chosen by LCC, and the theme is Racing for a Cure.
That's nice. That's a good thing. That is a good theme.
Yes,
definitely. Yes. Well, it sounds like a really good event. Could you restate when it is, where it's at? And
it's Saturday, September 17th at the Oswego Community Building, and we start at 11 and we'll finish up at 4.
Well, thank you, ladies. We'll be right back with another look at your forecast after the break.
All right, let's take a look at what we're looking at for the week ahead. Now, we are going to start drying out for the week once we get through today. Unfortunately, for the drought situation, that's not good news. But if you've got outdoor plans, we've got a dry week ahead of us. There is good news later down the road. We'll talk about all of that here in just a second. So, We're looking at isolated storm chances late today in Missouri, otherwise partly cloudy. Decent week lined up in terms of temperatures and the fact that it's going to be dry for those of you with outdoor plans or activities this week. We're looking at sunny skies as we head into the weekend. Skywatch Storm Tracker doesn't have anything to really show us locally. Nothing major on the wide view either, but the low pressure system that brought us the rain showers over the last few days slowly tracking off to the northeast, and we're going to catch the backside of it as we head into the afternoon and late day. Foggy conditions, pretty dense fog as well for a good chunk of the area for most of southeast Kansas, getting back into southwest Missouri. So if you are driving this morning, make sure that you are allotting yourself extra time on the road. You can see the fog in the distance. I mean, look at that. That's some dense fog out there at 7th and Range Line, off in the distance from our camera. 66 and sunny otherwise in Joplin. That's a temperature that we've just been locked into all morning long. 60, 68 Center, 69 in Chanute, 67 in Pittsburgh, and 66 in Stockton to start your day, and a little bit warmer to the south, say 68 in Welch and Miami. As we go through the rest of the day, it's going to warm up. It's going to do so and be decent, at least, in terms of temperatures. Partly cloudy skies, 77 at noon, afternoon high of 85, 76 by 8 with some of those isolated storm chances. Partly cloudy skies tonight, 68 by 11, 65 by 2, and an overnight low of 63. So let's talk about the rain chances that we're looking at for this evening. By noon, we're good. Partly cloudy skies. Temperatures look all right. And you can see off here, this is where that low pressure system starts to bring in some of those scattered showers. And as the evening goes on, we're going to say anywhere from Stockton to Pierce City, we're looking at shower and possible thunderstorm activity. The good news is nothing severe, just a stray storm or two out there. The majority of us remain dry. Those storms clear out by about 11 o'clock tonight. And then we just hold on to these dry conditions. And the long-range forecast shows the exact same. Rain, showers, thunderstorms staying off to our east and southeast. And as we head through the rest of the week, it stays hot, it stays dry. Unfortunately, again, for the drought situation, we've seen some improvement thanks to the rain we've seen, but we haven't seen significant enough improvement. We still have a good chunk of the area that's in extreme drought conditions. And you can see on this future track, it's nothing to show us. So we go through the day today into tomorrow. 86 tomorrow, and then we're looking at 90 Wednesday, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies for the entire week. It's not until next week that we see our next chance of rain showers build in. Until then, it's warm, it's dry, it's sunny, and overnight lows hang out in the 60s. But the good news is, for the drought, there's a little more relief on the way as we head into next week. We just have to get through a few more dry days in order to catch some of that relief. Well, the price of a Sam's Club membership is increasing for the first time in 9 years. News came in a letter from Sam's Club CEO Kath McClay, who says entry-level club members will see a jump from $45 to $50 a year. Premium members will pay $110 or an extra $10 per year, which gets them extended shopping hours and other perks. But to ease the pain of the price increase, parent company Walmart says they will give back the difference in Sam's cash for the first year. Price change is effective October 17th. Warehouse retail competitor Costco last hiked its membership in 2017, does not have plans to do so this year. As the restaurant industry tries to recover from the pandemic, it is facing a new crisis, a staff shortage in the kitchen. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the need for chefs and head cooks is far outpacing the number of students interested in those careers. The Bureau projects the need for head cooks and chefs will rise 25% by 2030, far faster than the 8% growth rate for other occupations. America's most prestigious school for chefs, the Culinary Institute of America, now accepts 97% of all applicants. That compares to 2001, when it was far more selective, accepting only 36% of applicants. The industry is acknowledging that it must offer higher pay, benefits, and improved work-life balance to help meet that demand. The Internal Revenue Service is acknowledging an error that inadvertently exposed taxpayer information on the web. The admission Friday involves as many as 120,000 individuals who filed Form 990T, often used by nonprofit organizations. The IRS form is to report unrelated business income. Agency officials say they have removed the files from public view on its website and will be contacting those affected directly. Wall Street Journal reports the Treasury Department planned to notify Congress about the accidental disclosure. We'll be right back with another check of your forecast and those doggy fashions from Dolly Parton right after this.
What do you get when you combine two favorite things, Dolly Parton and dogs?
That's an excellent question. You see, you get the music star's new clothing and accessory line for pets. Jeannie Moose reports on Doggy Parton.
Why is Dolly Parton blow drying a French bulldog named Billy the Kid? She's selling the wig. Fans are wigging out over her new line.
Dog parents, stop what you're doing. Dolly Parton came out with a doggy line called Doggy Parton.
The best brand name ever, Doggy Parton features Dolly wigs for your dog, pink cowgirl hats for $9.99, red gingham western shirts, blue denim jackets.
And I'm totally obsessed.
Glam Southern Belle styles.
With a little Dolly flair.
And doggy squeeze toys. Dolly points out her very first record was
Puppy love, they all call it puppy love.
Owners with pets named Dolly are clamoring for the merchandise. I think my Dolly would rock that wig. The owner of this dog in a Maryland costume says it's time to upgrade to Dolly. Even cat owners were excited as rumors we could not confirm circulated that there are plans for a cat line called Dolly Parton, a name already claimed by this cat. One dog owner had a bone to pick.
The line is only for baby dogs and husky kitties. Big dogs need love too. My girls really need the red and white gingham shirt.
Doggy Parton promised that coming soon, best-selling items would be available for plus-size dogs, XL and XXL. Our favorite item includes wig and sequin dress complete with guitar and arms to hold it, and best of all, a Dolly-style bosom for your dog. Now that's something to howl about. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
All right.
That was very interesting.
I'm kind of curious. I wonder if you could fit small children into the Doggy Parton.
I'm sure you probably can in the extra large little costumes.
Yeah, for the plus size dogs that'll be coming a little bit later. You know, that might work for small children as well.
Definitely. I wish my little Chihuahua liked costumes because I would put him in a little Dolly Parton costume and heart in a fast beat.
Well, whether he likes it or not, I think you should do it anyway. Just because, I mean, you were just talking about your love of Dolly Parton, and so if she's coming out with this, I think your dog's just going to have to deal with it.
Definitely. You'll have to get over it.
Just dress him up. And I like the one that comes complete with everything.
Yeah, I saw it. Really comes with a true Dolly Parton experience.
Yeah, for your favorite pop. That's
very cute.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it is a very, very cute line, very interesting line for sure. And I have no doubt that those things will sell because I've seen plenty of people dress their dogs up in interesting ways. Interesting ways.
Definitely.
You won't have to dress up too interestingly today for the forecast. We got some isolated thunderstorm chances late today on the Missouri side. We'll talk about those. Otherwise, we're looking at a pretty nice week if you've got outdoor activities. It's going to be partly cloudy, mostly clear skies. We're looking at sunny skies as we head into the weekend. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear right now. We're watching for the low pressure system that's slowly tracked off to our northeast. We're going to get in on the backside of it later today for an isolated storm or two. Ahead of that, we're dealing with some pretty dense fog across the area from Joplin, Nevada, Humansville, Butterfield, Edna, Chanute, Howard. I mean, it's almost everywhere across the area, so make sure you're allowing extra drive time. Whoa! The weather cam view has significantly changed. So as the sun's rising, the fog is burning off, and I mean, it almost looks like thunderstorm activity is building, but that is just the fog burning on off, and it will, of course, continue to do so across through the day. 66 in Joplin, sunny skies. Take a look. We got 68 Center, 63 in Iola, 68 in Newata and Welch and Miami, 66 Neosho, and 65 in Monette. As we go through the rest of today, partly cloudy skies. We're looking at 77 by noon, afternoon high of 85, and those isolated thunderstorm chances around 8, and we'll be at 76. Partly cloudy skies through the night with I already said that. My goodness, it's a Monday. Partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 63 tonight. And on the future track, this is noon today. You can see we're all right, except maybe by Stockton. We've got a stray shower or two, and that's that back side of that low pressure system pushing some showers into the area. So from Stockton to Pierce City, between noon and 8, we'll see some isolated thunderstorms. No severe weather, just some brief thunderstorm chances out there. And then we clear out and we stay that way, unfortunately, for the rest of the week. So it's two-sided. If you've got outdoor plans or activities this week, the forecast is good. If you're dealing with the drought and it's impacting what you do every day, the forecast is not good as we stay dry and warm through the rest of the week. Temperatures are at least all right. We're pushing about 90 degrees. Sunny skies heading into the weekend. Overnight lows into the 60s. The only good news from the drought side is we have seen a little improvement on the drought tracker. Not much. Still a lot of the area under severe drought conditions. But we've got more rain chances coming next week that we'll keep an eye on that should help out at least a little bit. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The heat wave in California is forcing officials to shut down dozens of parks in the Bay Area this holiday weekend. There's a concern that triple-digit temperatures could spark wildfires in Northern California. Extreme heat warnings forced Sacramento state officials to suspend tailgating for the school's first college football game of the season. Darn. Thunderstorms and heavy rain in northwest Georgia caused flash flooding Sunday. With homes and roads underwater, the governor declared a state of emergency in at least 2 counties. The National Weather Service called the situation extremely dangerous and life-threatening. In Pakistan, aid is finally beginning to arrive for some of the flood victims there. Unprecedented monsoon rains and melting glaciers caused massive flooding that killed nearly 1,300 people since June. Officials say that at one point, about a third of the nation was underwater.
Quick check of your forecast for today. 77 at noon, 85 for an afternoon high. Maybe an isolated storm, mostly from about Stockton to Pierce City late today. As we go in the overnight, partly cloudy skies. We'll have 68 by 11, 65 by 2 a.m. with an overnight low of 63. Look at the 7-day. Unfortunately for the drought situation, no relief for that as we stay dry and warm. It won't be until next week before we see our next rain chances. Otherwise, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Temps around 90, lows in the 60s.
Nice. A unique piece of jewelry is up for grabs, but you may have to break the bank for it.
Now, Sotheby's is auctioning off the Williamson Pink Star diamond, which is considered among the rarest of all gemstones. Officials describe the diamond as fancy, vivid pink, weighing in at just over 11 carats, which is bigger than most diamonds of that color. It's expected to bring in at least $21 million. And that's it for us for right now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and then, of course, we'll be back at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.